Welcome back to Friar Talk, everyone. I hope you are having a great day. Today, final little trade piece. We'll do some more throughout the trade deadline season and everything like that. But this week we did 3 different kind of trade proposals and whatnot. First off, we did Josh Hader. Then yesterday we did Blake Snell, and today we're going to talk about Juan Soto. Now I'm going to lead this off and say I do not expect Juan Soto to be traded. I don't think that's what's going to happen. We talked about this before. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to trade him. But if we're looking at it, you got to bring it up. You got to talk about Juan Soto. He's one of the biggest names in the league. People have brought up, oh, he's being rumored to get traded. The Padres want to trade him, stuff like that. I think it's all smoke. I don't think it makes so much sense for them to trade him. He has an extra year of control next year. Most likely what's going to happen is the Padres are going to reload, come back with Soto in 24, and do something then. If they're in the same situation as they are this year, trading Soto next deadline would make a lot more sense. So it doesn't seem like they're going to, but we want to talk about what it would cost to get him, because there's a lot of ridiculous stuff going on right now with like mock-ups and stuff with, oh yeah, this is what he's going to get moved for. And what we hear a lot is, oh yeah, he's getting like linked to the Yankees. Yankees fans, Padre fans, baseball fans. There is nothing that the Yankees are going to offer the Padres that they would accept. And I hear like, oh yeah, they're gonna get, what is the guy's name? Jason Dominguez, the shortstop Volpe. I don't know how to even say his name. I mean, I've watched him in person a couple times, but like, guys, this is Juan Soto. The Padres just traded like 5 top 100, top 100, 150 prospects for him. He's not gonna go and get a couple like top 100 guys. It's gonna cost a lot to get him. So Isaac, what do you think about that? Because I feel like maybe that's, I don't know if that's supposed to be like a hot take or something, but I don't think there's anything that the Yankees can offer.
Yeah, Derek Jeter, Yankee fans. I mean, y'all aren't getting shit. It's so straightforward. They don't look, the guy we gave up. I understand it's less. It's a year less of control than what we got him for. We gave up James Wood. He's the number 4 prospect right now. Mackenzie Gore was a top 5, top 10 prospect at one point. CJ Abrams, top 5, top 10 prospect at one point. Robert Hassel, top 30 prospect. Like, dude, we gave up studs. We gave up young studs. You only have one young stud to offer us, and he's a top 45 prospect, not top 30. One top 40 prospect. He's at 41, actually. So no, the Yankees are completely off the table, but we'll go right back to the Orioles prospect mill. They got a lot to be able to offer us, and I know Soto's not having the year that we would kind of expect of him, but still having a really good year. He's on pace for like a 6 WAR. He has over an 850 OPS. Now the defense, it's incredibly lacking. It's pretty close to god awful, but it's really bad. And he's probably a future first baseman / DH, whatever you want to say. But I mean, you could sell him just off the fact that everyone calls him Ted Williams. I don't want to sell him though. I really think if you sell him, you're kind of punting on 2024 also. I think you got to. When you invested in Juan Soto, you didn't invest in just 2023. You invested in 2024 also. You invested in 22, 23, and 24. So to give up after a year of him, I think that's completely unreasonable. I think it's a really bad idea, and I think it would be a really, really bad decision by the Padres. Because I do think he can improve his defense to at least be an average defender. Left field is not hard at Petco Park, so I would hope that he can become an average defender with the Padres. Somehow he was a Gold Glove finalist last year, and he looked way worse last year than he does in left field this year. So I would hope that the Padres keep him around. I don't think the good thing with us is that we're not inclined to trade Soto. So if a team wants Soto, you're gonna have to give us some good stuff. You're gonna have to blow us away if you want Juan Soto. So as for the Orioles, I don't think it would take Jackson Holiday. I don't know if it would take Gunnar Henderson, but you're going to have to give us some really good stuff. And that's the thing, is it might take one of those two, because that is the only way that I feel like the Padres would be blown away is if you give us one of those two. But that's the only team I really see. Matt and I have already discussed. That is the one team that I think would be worthy of a trade like that. And maybe there's some young guys already in the MLB for them that we could be like, look, like you have a young pitcher that we think would be good for us. Give us a young pitcher and some prospects, and we'll give you Juan Soto. Something like that. I don't know. But the Orioles, to me, are the only team that we can go to and get a reasonable compensation for, because the Yankees don't have anything. Like, I keep hearing Yankees. They're last in their division. 2, yeah, they could probably pay him, but they already paid Aaron Judge a crap ton, and they have contracts invested in some really bad players. I mean, he'd be great because he'd be a short porch merchant, which would be awesome for Juan Soto. But come on, I just don't think the Yankees make much sense. I mean, I get it. They're going to be talked about every trade deadline. The Yankees. Every player is going to be linked to the Yankees, the Dodgers, blah, blah, blah. But primarily the freaking Yankees. And Volpe's not good. Peraza, I haven't heard anything from Peraza in a long time. Dominguez fell, and he's now the 41st ranked prospect. Like, come on, do we really want to go to the Yankees for a trade partner for us? No, we want to go to a team that's number 1 in prospect rankings, and that would be the Orioles. So, also, I don't think the Phillies are going to be a contender either. I know they got some pretty good prospects, but Andrew Painter's about to need Tommy John, and that was going to be the one guy that we all probably would have wanted. He's not in the running anymore. Phillies, to me, are out. So yeah, the Orioles are the only team that I'm really looking at and saying, hey, that's a good trade partner, but if you want to blow us away, you're going to have to give us one of the guys that you think is going to be the future of your team.
Yeah, and I think that's true. I think a couple other teams you could bring up would be like the Rays. They have a lot of young talent. They have a decent farm system. It's pretty deep, but like they don't really have the top end guys. The Guardians, I guess, from a prospect capital standpoint, makes some sense. The Rangers, if they gave up a ton, but also once again, they don't really have like the top guys unless they give up Evan Carter. There's teams in the NL, the Diamondbacks. Obviously, we're not going to trade them to the Diamondbacks. Like, that doesn't make any sense at all. Another team with good prospect capital, the Nationals. Obviously, they're not going to be trading for Juan Soto. That's the thing. A lot of like the teams with a lot of prospect capital aren't good because they're rebuilding. So then why would you trade for Juan Soto? It doesn't make any sense. The two teams that really have the capital to do it are the Diamondbacks and the Orioles, and the Diamondbacks are not on the list anymore because they're in the division. That would make absolutely no sense. So you look at the Orioles and you go, okay, would it make sense for the Orioles to do this? Maybe. I don't know how confident I was saying that. And I feel like Orioles fans would probably be kind of like, I don't think we should do this. We just built up all this farm and kind of did everything like this. So I don't know even if they would really want to go after a move like this, but maybe they feel like they can. I think the only way it makes sense is if they feel like they can trade for Juan Soto and they would extend him, and then he would be, because he's going to be 24 next year. So they'd be extending him at 24 years old. And they're like, this is the guy we're going to pay a ton, and we're going to have a bunch of cheap talent around him, and he's going to be like, like our guy. Him and Adley are going to be our guy. And whoever else they keep, if that's Jackson Holiday, Gunnar Henderson. And you said you don't know if it would cost one of those guys. I think that you would have to give up Jackson Holiday or Gunnar Henderson or who's the other guy? They have another guy right up here, Colton Cowser as well. So, and he's not even like that tier. I think it's, you got to give up Gunnar or Jackson Holiday. And if people are going to be like, oh, that's way too much to give up for him. Guys, the Padres gave up James Wood. James Wood is the 4th prospect in the league. Jackson Holiday is number 1, but like that's a pretty comparable player. And James Wood's been pretty, he actually has under a 900 OPS right now in AA, but like he's risen way up, all that stuff. And they also have CJ Abrams, who came in that deal, and he was a top 5 prospect. So they traded 2 top 5 prospects for Juan Soto. So it's going to be a similar price to that. And I think that it starts with one of those 2 guys. A guy in the MLB right now for the Orioles is Kyle Bradish. He's a really good starter. He's a righty. He has barely over a 3 ERA, 26 years old. I believe he's a rookie this season. I guess he pitched last year a little bit, but he's put up a great year. Super young starter. he could be someone that could be mentioned. I mean, you go through their whole prospect list, and we talked about it yesterday when we were talking about Blake Snell as like a couple guys here, but like they got a bunch of guys. They have so many guys and so many players that are coming up to the league right now, where if the Padres don't feel like they're going to be able to retain Juan Soto, it does make sense for them to trade him. But if you're on the Orioles side, do you even want to do that? Do you want to build up this entire team of young talent and then move on from it for one guy? Or do you want to see all that talent come up at the same time and have this massive core of really good players where you really have a strong chance to come away with a championship for the next 6 to 8 years, like when those guys are young and cheap and everything? That's probably what you want to do, right? Like, Isaac, am I wrong, or is that what you're trying to do in baseball? Because that's what you want, dude. Like, they're in a perfect spot. So I would say if you're the Orioles, I don't think you want to do it, honestly.
Yeah, I think they're in the best spot to trade for Juan Soto. I don't know if they want to do it, but I mean, they have guys that can stick together for years to come. Adley Rutschman, Gunnar Henderson, Jackson Holiday, Cedric Mullins. They got guys that are really good that they could contend with for years to come, and they'll be cheap. That's the thing. The Orioles are really cheap, so that definitely fits into their mold. But if they don't want to be cheap anymore, they have a lot of money to spend in free agency. They can go get somebody and realistically be one of the top 5 contenders in baseball. So I don't think they need Juan Soto. You know, that's the thing. And that's a good thing is we don't need to get rid of Juan Soto. They are the team that's best in position to trade for him. But we don't need to get rid of Juan Soto. I don't want to give up after a year of having him and not come away with at least a World Series appearance. That was the goal. We went to the NLCS within the first year. We only won 1 game in the NLCS. It didn't really feel close, but you want to go to the World Series, man. You have Fernando Tatis Jr., Juan Soto, Manny Machado, Xander Bogaerts all in their prime. Stick it through for at least 1 more year. That's what I think. You got to see it through for at least 1 more year. You still would have Ha-Seong Kim. You still would have Jake Cronenworth. Trent Grisham's doing good. I mean, you're essentially going to be bringing back the same core that you would be for this year. But you're probably getting better production from Manny throughout the year. You're probably getting better production from Xander throughout the year. Like, I don't think we see such a significant downfall from what these guys' career averages are. I don't think they dig themselves in such a big hole. They have money to go get a pitcher. They have money to go get multiple pitchers if they wanted to. Drew Pomeranz will be off the books. Like, they could do a good amount of things. And I think they should see it through with Juan Soto. Big picture is they say, hey, we don't want Juan Soto because he's a future DH and we don't want to pay him that much. Let's go get Shohei Ohtani and just go all in. And no one would be opposed to that. I certainly wouldn't. But yeah, man, there's a lot of things they could do with Juan Soto, and I think it's too early to get rid of him.
Yep, and I agree with you, and I just don't think there's going to be like a trade proposal that really makes sense right now. I also think that's part of it, because if the Orioles don't want to do that, which I don't know, I don't think they would want to do it personally. Like, for what it's going to cost, for what the Padres are going to want for Juan Soto, then like, why? Who are you trading him to? There's not really anyone to trade him to, unless you want to give him to like a team that's in your division, like the Dodgers or the Diamondbacks. Like, but you're just not gonna do that, you know? Like, so that's kind of my overall thoughts on Juan Soto. He's not gonna get traded. Everything that's discussed about Juan Soto is smoke. That's why you have Derek Jeter being like, "Oh yeah, Yankees are gonna trade for Juan Soto." Bro, they're not. They can't trade for Juan Soto. They can't field a decent offer for Juan Soto. How is that supposed to work, man? Like, so yeah, that's my thoughts right there. So I think that'll do it for our Juan Soto discussion. And I don't know when we're going to talk about trading him next, because I don't think there's going to be anything about that. I think there's going to be some fake rumors that aren't even worth discussing. That's what I honestly believe. But if you do think that he should get traded, if you think there's an offer out there, Padre fans, other MLB fans, let us know in the comments. But yeah, that's going to do it. So thank you all for listening, and we will see you on our Sunday live stream. See y'all.